Welcome to the Empowered Mind podcast with Joelle and Natalie Rivera. We are on a never-ending quest to master the power of our mind, develop a growth mindset, and explore the leading edge of positive psychology and human potential so we can take radical personal responsibility for creating our destinies and reaching our potential. The truth is that life is happening for you, not to you. Now, this simple shift of perspective can literally make the difference between having an epic life and having a life where you feel like a victim. Because the truth is that things are going to happen in life around you, outside of your control. And there's really only two ways to look at it. Either you can look at it as it's all happening to you and you're just the victim of circumstances and it's all outside of your control, or that there's something greater to be learned here that is happening for you, that everything in life is a lesson and life is a game, and it's about learning how to play the game.
So whenever you have a challenge that happens in your life or a bad experience, if you have that perspective, the first thing that you're going to think about, what blessing can I get out of this? How is this going to help me grow? How is this going to help me become a better person? And every experience that you have, the fact is that you have a choice. You have a choice to see it as something negative or something positive. Even in the worst circumstances, I always try to look at what blessing does this have? Maybe I can't even see the blessing now, but just the understanding that this is happening for a reason and that this is happening so I can get to my final goal, because you might have a dream, you might have a goal, but it doesn't always work out the way you wanted to get from point A to point B. There are going to be lessons, there are going to be challenges, things that you're going to have to happen to you for you to learn these lessons to be able to actually get you to that place. So sometimes they're not necessary lessons, but the fact that you can frame it in a way that is happening for you to be able to grow is going to help you get the most out of them. It's also going to help you not keep repeating the same issues over and over and again, because you have the mentality that is happening for a reason and is happening to help you grow.
And so really there's a couple different ways that you can come at this. For some people, they love the idea that everything happens for a reason and that there's a greater purpose going on. And so maybe something bad happened because you were meant to do something. And so that's one way to look at it. But if you don't have that belief system, even at a very practical level, it just makes sense to look at something and say, you know what, either I'm going to turn this into something good, or I'm going to stick my head in the sand and feel bad for myself and allow it to ruin my life. You get to choose. So whether you want to think about it from the perspective of there's a higher purpose to it, or you just want to address the reality that you have a choice, this is extremely important, because every situation either is going to help teach you something that you might not know that you need to know it now, but it can pay off in the future. Like, I used to work in a field that I never wanted to be in, which was marketing and graphic design. I just kind of fell into it, and I didn't love it, but it was decent. And I didn't know that in the future it would pay off so much to have that skill when I was starting my own business. And so it's just trusting that something good is going to come of it, because you can make something good of it. And also when something happens that you don't like, it actually helps you get really clear about what you want, because a lot of people don't know what they want. And how else could you possibly learn in a better way what you do want than having an experience that you don't want? So just look at it. It's like, it's clarity, it's education, it's resilience. It's giving you these tools to take forward in your life.
Well, and the reality is, like you said, it applies to so many aspects of life. Whether it's that you're in a career that you really don't like at this point, but you can really reflect on that career. If it's happening for you, that means there's something that this career is teaching you, some seeds that is planting, something that's going to help you long-term with whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. Even for me, I was bedridden for a year, sick. And the whole time I was focused, and this is really what helped me not go crazy during that time, that I was feeling like it was happening for me. It was a sabbatical. It was an opportunity to really reflect on my life, my purpose, my legacy, my passion, what I really wanted to do, because I was so distracted running these businesses and doing all these things that I wasn't taking the time to really reflect. So actually, it was the biggest blessing. Even losing my brother, if I wouldn't have lost him, I would have never gone back to school after failing. I never would have impacted the lives that I would have impacted. So in hindsight, you can say, yeah, I knew that. But the thing is that you can live it now. You can have a bad relationship. You can have a bad career. You can have situation happen to you that's challenging. You can have a bad day where something happened. It's like snowball, things are happening. but maybe that's opening you up to the reality that there's things in your life that you need to change. Maybe life is knocking on your door saying, hey, wake up. I'm here. I'm trying to teach you a lesson. Be open to that lesson because life is happening for that purpose.
Well, and really, it's always about asking yourself the right question.
Yep.
So regardless of what's happening, you can do this looking back at your life, at things that have happened, and saying, if I was able to orchestrate my life on purpose and I did this to myself, why would I have done this? What would I have been trying to tell myself? What lesson was I trying to give myself? You could also look back and say, how can I use this pain that I went through to help other people or to change something in the world? But you can also do it for what's happening like right now. So something happening, say you're feeling a negative emotion about something. Well, what is that negative emotion? Well, it's telling you something. It's telling you how you feel about something. So maybe you're miserable at your job and you're sitting there feeling angry at the end of the day, just wishing you could leave 30 minutes early, and it feels terrible. Well, that feeling is there to teach you. It's there to get you to go, hey, maybe there's something I can do different. Maybe I can change my attitude about my work. Maybe I can change the position that I'm in. Maybe I need to have a conversation with my boss that I've been putting off. So every time something negative is happening, whether you're feeling it or it's actually happening in the moment, it's not that you're not going to have a negative reaction or that it's unreasonable to feel bad about it, but it's just having that perspective of looking for the blessing, looking for the greater meaning in it, and most importantly, asking yourself, what am I going to do in the situation? What choices do I have?
So what Natalie's saying is that these are red flags. You have red flags in your life that are going back and forth saying, hey, look at me, look at me. I'm trying to teach you a lesson. I'm trying to help you grow. I'm trying to help you have clarity in your life. So don't run away from those things. Recognize that, again, life is happening for you. So the more awareness that you have, the more clarity you will have in your life, what you want and what you don't want, and what you could do to really change, and what you could do to learn from any experience. Every experience that you have, whether you got stopped in the morning and got a traffic ticket, you can think of it, it happened for me because it helped me avoid a car accident, or it's really telling me a sign of life that I need to really slow down and really reflect on what I want and not live so chaotic. Whatever it may be, is that there's a message in there. So I want to ask you, are you listening to that message, and are you willing to embrace that life is not happening to you, that is happening for you and for the best interest of what you want long term?
Thank you, fellow Freedom Junkies, for listening. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. And if you want to help us grow, please rate and share this podcast. You can also become a member of Freedom Nation. Visit freedomorbustpodcast.com and sign up to receive access to exclusive content and take the 21-day happiness challenge. As you know, we believe that entrepreneurship is the ultimate form of empowerment, which is why we created the Side Hustle Business Startup course for anyone looking to create their own income and take back their power. We offer an exclusive discount for our podcast listeners. Find out more at freedomorbustpodcast.com.